Ladies and gentlemen, what's the deal, YouTube? We're back with the weekly Big Gamer Small Talk podcast. Yes. We got a lot to talk about this week. It's been a few stories, you know what I mean? How you say in WWE, a few storylines, and then popped up, you know what I mean? It has next gen turned pony, you know what I mean? Has God of War stole his soul. We're gonna talk about all that good stuff tonight. I had my boy Tim Dog out there dissing me on Twitter with all the memes. I'm still getting non-stop hate mail. Everybody said I've forsaken them, you know what I mean? And all types of stuff. Man, as the room was filling up, you guys come in, hit the like button. If you think I'm a pony, hit the like button. If you hate my fucking guts, hit the like button. We have some fun here tonight. As like I said, the room's going. What's going on with your crap? I have, we've spoken. You haven't really been speaking to me.
Yeah, wondering what the hell you're doing, man. What you thinking, dude? With all this, I get like 20 messages a day, man. What's up with Z? What's up with Z? And I'm like, man, I wish I could tell you, man. We see a little bit of garbage God of War footage, and suddenly he's pony. Like, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. But hopefully, we can work something out, get you back on the good side.
Okay, all right. K Mega.
I don't speak to fucking traitors, man. Move on to Tim.
Oh man, Tim, all right. What's going on, brother?
I don't talk to no fucking traitors either.
Oh man, so they doing? They starting out with the blatant disrespect. Jesus, my God. Okay. Well, we can start off with some good positive Xbox news. You guys, a most anticipated game of the generation is coming out tonight with Sea of Thieves. You guys excited about that?
Oh, dude, I'm thrilled, man. I cannot wait. My hype level is through the roof. My most anticipated game of the year. I've been waiting years for this game to come out, and finally, Sea of Thieves has come home to the Xbox family, and I couldn't be happier. That game's already #1 on Twitch, and it hasn't even released here yet. So, man, these are going to be some amazing times for Xbox fans. I see the petition for PS4 owners to get the game on their platform is raising even higher as well. They want it. Everybody wants this game. Everybody's talking about this game. This is what everybody should be talking about because it's a legit game, new IP, not some old rehash thing. Let's go, man. I'm excited, man. Tonight, midnight, let's go.
Yes. Megan, are you on the Sea of Thieves hype train?
Absolutely, I'm on this. Man, and great show. You Mooch and Crap, man. That was great with that interview.
Yeah, man. We got to talk with really Craig Duncan himself, man. Really cool stuff, man.
Really cool, man. That was a good get, man. And just like everybody else that listened to the show, you know what I'm saying? And big shout out to the Pick Tick podcast too, because they had him on as well. They you know what I'm saying, it made me so much more excited for this game. I mean, I already was saying that. So I got to steal this one from you. Mega was right. I said this well over a year ago that this was going to be a streaming sensation, and as you see, that this game is in the hunt with the best of the best out there. That's streaming God. So this game is going to just kick off. It's not even really truly launched yet, but I am so excited, man. You have made the biggest mistake of your life, Z. And and when you start eating that motherfucking crow, it's gonna be up to us to decide if we're gonna let your dog ass back again. We don't know though, but for right now, you know what I'm saying, you stay over there and just keep talking about God of War, a game that you ain't played yet.
Jesus Christ! Look, punches on me today, baby. Hey Tim, are you swallowing the salt water of Sea of Thieves? Are you all about it?
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm gonna be playing it tonight, and like the guy said on the panel, it's already #1 on Twitch. It hasn't even come out in LA, New York, and a lot of locations. There are people were talking about changing regions. I don't know if we're talking about this pre-show or if that was show, but be careful with that because if they catch you, I think Crap was saying
they'll ban you.
They will ban you. So. Some people are doing that kind of trickery. I don't ever do that, but I wouldn't recommend that. But people want this game, and I hope it does well. It looks like it's already off to a hot start. So tonight I'll be there. When is it releasing? I'm hearing different things. Is it going to release at 9 p.m. New York, or is it going to be 12 a.m.?
12 12
Yeah,
a.m.
that's what I think too. Even though I heard 9, but I don't think that that's true.
For those who have with Game Pass, you gotta wait till tomorrow, or
yeah, what's the deal? I don't know about that. That's
you can't pre-download, but you have to wait till because Game Pass is a service, so it works like you only get to download it once it's available in there, which it's not actually available until tomorrow when it launches. So
no, listen, I have. If you don't know, I have yet to try any of the betas, none of the things that you got. For some person such as myself and rest of my pony brethren out there, sell me on the game. Now, I'm just be honest, just looking at it, and I looked at, I guess, to have something to play, and I had you to show the ID at Xbox. And to me, this didn't look fun. Like, what is fun about this Sea of Thieves? Like, what is it that I'm not getting? That I'm not seeing by eye? Like, what is it?
I mean, you like multiplayer games, right? Like having fun with your friends.
Okay.
I mean, that's basically the crux of this game is you're just out there having fun with your friends, making your own kind of adventure. You get just kind of lost in having fun. Man, this game is a time sucker. Basically, you start playing it with your buds and you're having a good laugh, and next thing you know, you're hunting treasure. And then all of a sudden the ship comes up and you're under attack and you got holes in your ship and you got crew that's trying to patch those up while you're trying to return fire, or you know what I mean? And it just becomes this big, like, hilarious kind of fun game. And I've never had so much fun in a game. Just like when I first played this game in alpha, and I was the second alpha test, the second ever, and I was just paired up with random people who I made friends with because you have to communicate. And I never looked back. I said, this is the most fun I've ever had. And then I think my brother Hellhammer did one of the alphas with us, and we were just having this hilarious time, this back and forth, because if you're steering the ship, you don't really know if you're Hellhammer.
His brother.
Yeah. If you're steering the ship, right? You basically, you don't know where you're going. You're counting on the person underneath in the cabin reading you which way to go, north, west, east, south, like more this way, because you don't know, because you can't pull up a map, and it takes two people to do that. So it's hilarious. There's a lot of fun involved. Kind of make your own adventure, just really cool stuff. The living world aspect is amazing. Just having fun with your friends, man. It's just what it's all about. If you're an Xbox gamer, I think that's what it's all about.
Listen, can I say something real quick?
Yeah, you can say whatever you like.
All right. So I'm on vacation and I'm hearing Zaire talking about all this. I'm selling my Xbox One X. He's talking all this crazy stuff for God of War. I'm on vacation and I'm hearing about this. I'm right now living the real life Sea of Thieves. If you follow me at Mr. Chris Steele, shameless plug, I know. I've been living Sea of Thieves as I walk out into the beautiful ocean and drink the salt water that the dolphins that I've swam with and the motherfucking sea turtles that I've literally cut off fucking beer can 6-pack holders off of sea turtles and dolphin snouts while I've been on vacation, folks. This is not a lie. I am a hero amongst the fish and the aquatic life.
Aquaman.
Sea of Thieves is amazing. Yes, I am like Aquaman, but they call me Aqua Chris. But right now I'm right now I'm Florida Chris. I'm on vacation. I'm enjoying my time. I thought I'd pop in and call Zaire a pony, and I'm out. Peace.
Damn.
Dang. The dagger on the way out.
Hey, yo, I have a question. Something does Sea of Thieves have an ending? Is it an ending? Is it a story game, or just something? Will you ever get to the end of this game, or it's just?
No, it's a game as a service. It's a living game, so they update it constantly. They're talking about this game living for years. So literally, it constantly updates with new quests, new things to do. They're all
ending. It's not a single player aspect to it, and then, or even if you co-op the story, it's just all out there.
It's not really a story so much as just like this multiplayer, like living world. Like I don't know if you. It's really hard to kind of explain to where. You would really there's not a single player element. You can play by yourself, but it's really just there's different factions and different quests that you do to kind of raise yourself up in the eyes of these factions. There's also the treasure. There's the PvP stuff where you can get jumped at any time by the enemy, which can be, you don't know where they're at or when or how often. You know, and you also have to deal with stuff like the Kraken, which is totally random, which will totally destroy your ship. So let's say you've collected 20 treasure chests and you're heading back to cash those in, and the Kraken comes about. Well, say goodbye to all that progress that you just made, because those 20 chests are going down with the ship. You're not getting those back. So there's like,
you can't kill the Kraken though. That's what I found out. That was pretty interesting to me. Is that
I heard you couldn't. I don't know.
No, you can, but you probably won't be able to with just one ship. Like,
you need a battalion.
Yeah, you gotta like team up and stuff like that. So we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, man, I'm super excited to see how they work that out. They're gonna be updating it with like the pets in the future and things like that. So I think they're really receptive to the feedback. I sort of wish Microsoft would have believed in this game like wholeheartedly from the beginning, because then we would have saw probably you know, we know a lot more in terms of what we're gonna get as content later. But all the DLC is free, so you don't have to.
I think like even on your show that, you know, Duncan said it's hard to advertise this game.
Hard to advertise because it's like, how do you explain it? So, I mean, he was pretty honest about it, because I asked him really tough questions. Like, hey, how come you guys aren't really advertising this game like traditionally? And he's like, well, it's really hard to advertise this type of game. You know, really, we're just doing kind of grassroots and word of mouth and the streamers. And, you know, they did that world record thing where the guy shot himself out of a cannon. So, I mean, they're just going other traditional routes. But if you look at things, how many people have seen a PUBG commercial or a Fortnite commercial on TV? I've never seen any.
Yeah.
So those are the top games. And why are they the top games? Because people stream the hell out of them.
Right.
And you know, that it just kind of is what it is, man. That's how things get big nowadays, you know? Like, I wouldn't count it out that this game doesn't get huge. It's going to be amazing. I'm so excited for Rare. You know,
I'm not to interrupt, but you know, I think that you might not like this game. It might not be your type of game. It is a game that you could play solo, Zaire. It's fun for me, but I wouldn't say that that's something that everyone's going to like. But for the real crux of this, you should play with a team, and you know, it's one of those things that, you know.
Did I have the experience to get it? Because this like.
I mean, the graphics are great. I think that you would be impressed with the graphics. You know, definitely, it's a pretty game. There's no water like there's never been water that looks like this, and you know, I mean, I don't know if it's going to be your type of game. For me, I like the single player portion. I feel like it's an alive world, and you know, there's just something just going around and having your stuff, and the ability that another ship crew can come and, you know, raid you. I think that's kind of cool. But you know, I mean, I think the best way to play this game is with about, you know, a 4-person you know, ship and you know, have your fun. I mean, there's a lot of stories. I mean, Crap can tell you that he's probably had just by playing with other people like this. You make your own stories. So I mean, I don't know if it's going to be for you, but it might not be for everyone. But you know, for the people that it is for, and especially the streamers and stuff like that, the game is you know, a treasure chest, because you know, there's always different moments and different things that can happen, and you could, you know, have, you know, 25 crates of gold, and you know, you get raided and you get killed and you lose all your stuff, and you know, that ability to that PvP element is I think is really good in this game. But I mean, I know some people want PvE, but I think that kind of loses the you know, loses the kind of risk that the game could, you know, have, especially if you were in a Sea of Thieves with pirates. You know, you're not gonna. That was always a risk, is that you could be raided and somebody could kill you and take your ship and take your shit. You know.
Yeah. Now, for me, you're not gonna like it, you pony fucker. This is what's gonna happen is that it's basically for pure Xbox fans that wants to be entertained daily. And for you, we know that you want to play No Nate Coney. It's right there, but you bet not play that game, because if you was talking about Sea of Thieves and those cartoon looking graphics, then I bet not see your ass on that.
Well, hey, Crap, you had who was my man named Chris Duncan? What's his name?
Craig Duncan.
Craig.
There you go.
Yeah,
Sorry.
the head of Rare.
You had him on. He was one of the director. I'm sorry, the developers at Rare.
He's the head of Rare.
Okay, there you go. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Did he say anything about the art style and the direction? Why did they choose to go the whole Nickelodeon style? Or
That's he said that's just the art style that they wanted it to be a painting style, so that the game would last for years, because an art style like that won't ever be outdated. You know what I mean? And that makes a lot of sense from where they're saying, because if you go back and look at some of the other stuff Rare has done, even like a Cameo, if you go boot that up, it looks great because of the art style. If you go back, even Grab by the Ghoulies, good art style. Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, great art style. Those type of cell shaded Jet Grind Radio looks great today. So if they're wanting to make something that's going to last the test of time, then mission accomplished, man. They picked it. Rare's never going to do like a super realistic type graphical game. So they wanted to pick like a painting. So everything looks like a painting. And they've really done a good job with that. You know, it might not be for everybody, but for me, I think that I'm never going to pick on the art style of that game in particular, because it's wonderful. It's just amazing.
Yeah,
it's
you
a
would.
great-looking game.
Yeah, you wouldn't want Rare to be some type of totally. You know, I think it would be weird if Rare was doing like a totally mature theme. You know, something that was off the race. But like with one of the things at the interview that you had yesterday, I thought it was interesting, was this is also a different kind of game in the whole way the game is being made. You know, like Craig said, that, you know, usually a game would be completed and then it gets optimized and it gets honed in. This game really, with the updates and stuff like that, I think you're going to see this in 3 months. They're going to be real aggressive with building this game. And, you know, with the updating and the things like that, things are going to change. And I think that they're going to add enough content to keep people happy, just because of the style of the way that the development process that they're going about with this. I think I think you know, if you listen to you know, M&C the interview, I think that's an interesting point in the interview when he talks about that, how this really, you know, this is a different type of game developmentally than what, you know, traditionally they made or what people are used to. So I think that the content issue, or that the thing that break up, I do think that they're going to be, you know, pushing a lot of content out there, especially on the first update and the type of stuff.
Yeah, and I really do hope they do, but I gotta be honest, guys, I'm like rewatching Bgst on my phone, and Zaire, you look so disgusted and bored by us describing this game. Like, what are you not convinced about? Because you just look depressed.
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. Fucking let me channel my inner pony.
Just look at his face.
No, I'm just being real, right? Now we had the leak, came out Friday from God of War, right? Came out, right?
Yeah, quote unquote leak.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm gonna ask you guys, and that honestly, you know, that's everyone that, you know, with, I guess, Twitter.
You mean Rise 2?
Oh, there you go.
Oh my God.
And then we got more stuff that was officially released from Sony today. Do you think that was time? Because that's all I'm hearing. You know, I haven't really heard much about Sea of Thieves, but besides the tweet, about the Twitch thing, everyone's talking about God of War. Do you think that Kratos came out there and put a hole in that goddamn boat and sunk it?
Actually, I disagree. I think that they tried their best to do that, but when you see the Twitch streaming numbers and the Mixer numbers and all that stuff, mission failed.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And then another thing that you got to think about as well. Sorry, crap. The only thing you got to think about as well is that these guys are, well, everybody it's the trailer, the CG trailer, Neville's you showed me, that looked dope. Of God of War. It looked fantastic. I never said the game looked bad at all. But again, you guys are still looking at it. You know, Sea of Thieves are going to be playable tonight. There are people that's already playing it now, and the people that's played the beta, they're excited for it. This game started from other people questioning it, thinking like, this game probably might get some traction, don't know, to now it's everywhere. That game is getting a lot of buzz in the gaming community. And so for what that Rare, or I guess the Xbox community tried, they worked, they did the magic. They have helped this game progress without them doing a lot of advertising for it. Now, as for PlayStation, what they have to do with God of War, they got to push that game, because a lot of people were were speculating of what this game was going to look like, what it's going to be, and they've done an impressive job of selling that point. But again, Sea of Thieves is here now. God of War is what, 2 months away?
And to the credit to the person like me, or to the rational, sane gamer that has multiple consoles, I'm playing the here and now. What's going to be Sea of Thieves, where I'm going to hit that hard. And then when God of War comes out, I have that pre-ordered. I'll play that. And then the PS4 gets packed back up till something else comes out that I'm interested in. I'm back on my Xbox One X.
Yeah, and I want to speak on a point. K-Maker, you're absolutely right. Like, Sea of Thieves, let's be honest, guys, it's doing great with streaming-wise. Like, it's up there with Fortnite and PUBG. That's impressive no matter how he's trying to spin that. However, I think Sony did good because they see that Xbox is about to get a huge game, in my opinion at least. I think it's going to be awesome. So they released their footage, their trailer, to keep their fan base happy. Instead of just having nothing, they know what's coming, and that's a good move.
Well, they have Xbox fans that's impressed.
Yeah, and they even have Xbox fans like, damn, I almost want that. Look at Z.
Yeah, like that's the thing, and that's where the one part where that was, Sony has been playing chess while Microsoft, when it comes with advertising and stuff, plays checkers. But on this aspect with Sea of Thieves, it finally worked because because people actually played the game, and then they've seen that. This is absolutely fun. Look, I'm telling you, it's nothing like getting on a boat with Livewire and 100
being drunk.
And whoever's else on the boat. Yeah, real life.
Real life and in
anyway, so but it's a lot of fun. And then when they increase it to 6 players, and then for the rumors of hearing it that it could go to 8, or you could have your own armada maybe eventually, that's gonna be stupid. I'm telling you, man, that game has so much potential, and it may not look like it's the type of game that people might play, but if you experience it and play it with friends and take it for what it is, just a fun sandlot game in a way, you'll love it.
Yeah. As far as the my take on the whole thing with Sony, last year at this time, I think we all can remember that Halo Wars 2 came out, and they were talking about Horizon Metacritic. I mean, this was Xbox people doing that, and I think that what this goes to show you is that Sony is in tune with Microsoft as a fierce competitor. They look at them and they try to do whatever they can to throw water on whatever Xbox can have. Meanwhile, when Sony has something, you have Microsoft praising them, streaming their game on Mixer, which I get is part of their service. But you have everyone saying, "Oh, it's not a console war. Look at this great game. I'm loving." You have Xbox people promoting the thing, and that's just a stark difference between the way these companies are their mindset right now. And I think that Microsoft should take note, because this was a planned embargo that they figured that they were going to try to knock the wind out of the sail out of Sea of Thieves, and it looks like that Sea of Thieves is still just has enough going for it that it withstood that, and from the days to come, I think it's going to do very well. I think it's going to sell very well. But if this game was on the cusp of not being that, and didn't have the momentum it does, those type of things that Sony does could really hurt Microsoft, and I think Microsoft has to realize that they are playing with somebody that wants them out of the business. They do not want them in their space.
They're treating it seriously.
They take it seriously. So when God of War comes out in a month, I just would hold off on maybe all the praising and this is the industry and we're all friends, because if you're friends and everything goes, it goes both ways. And it's obvious. Like, I've seen a lot of people like, "Oh, look at Sony. They just dropped the bomb on Xbox." They were trying to push this narrative. A lot of Sony fanboys. And to an extent, it's true. Like they are ruthless in that. They will try to shit on Microsoft. So I just hope that Microsoft can at least be a little bit aware of what goes on, and especially with their games and the way, from whatever it is, from moving Paris Game Show, PSX to Paris Game Show, just to deflate, Xbox One X, to talk about that, or from taking a loss on hardware and putting a $199 insane SKU for Black Friday so that they can win the November MVBD, and they take that mind share and they use it against Xbox. And I just think it's time for Xbox to really kind of
take it seriously, right?
Being serious, and just realize
you got to compete with your competition. Like you can't be friends with them. But I want to ask you guys something. Now that we see like the God of War trailers and we kind of see the hype going on Twitter, do you still believe Sea of Thieves is going to have a bigger impact, or will it be God of War? I gotta be honest. I think it's gonna be God of War. Like,
God of War will have God of War will have the immediate impact, but Sea of Thieves. By the time that we get to the end of the year, there will be still people playing Sea of Thieves. There will be probably no one playing God of War. Let me pay the bills
right quick. Shout out to Classic Love. Xbox ain't got shit coming. Sea of Z's.
All right, cool. Anyway,
man, how original, man. Good one.
Yeah, man. You pay $5 for that, man.
Hey, I had a question. All right, and maybe again, what if everybody was wondering? Though, I say, I'm not going to hold you guys in suspense anymore. Everybody's wondering what changed in me, right? And I spoke to Showstopper. Your Showstopper came on the channel yesterday. Spoke to Show was here for a while. Been rocking out with me, right? Nice. What changed in me? I'm gonna be honest with you, right? And of course, for those who have been rocking out, I've always said that God of War is my favorite game. But it was, to me, and my guess, it was the combination of Gamescom, then Comic-Con, then I was told to wait till Tokyo Game Show, and then they just had this show here. What do you call it? Inside Xbox, and here I have the world's most powerful console, right? I always say, you guys, I'm a very shallow man. I would take beauty before brains. But how it is that Sony has the weaker console, but their games look better graphically.
The exclusives that they have are, are ones that obviously have been in the pipeline for a while, right. And they're fully taking advantage of it. And it depends on the graphical style as well. So I think that has a lot to play with it. Yeah. If Microsoft were if we were to see a Halo 6. Or something, or what I mean, we might think differently. Something.
Well, let me ask you this question: where was that narrative when Rise came out? And when
it was too busy being 900p was the problem.
It was.
That's right.
And I've seen some these PC frauds that they put up on, I saw one guy. He's like an Xbox hater. He's like, oh, the best console, the best console that looks with the best games and they show PlayStation games. But if you're going to say that, then you're invalidating your PC, because PC doesn't get exclusives like that. Like if you're going to say that, then your PC's dog shit. Then the best looking games are on PlayStation, bar none. Because guess what? They have the most AAA exclusives that look like that at this moment. But that's something that goes back and forth. For some reason, it was not talked about though when Rise was come out. Guess what we're talking about? We're talking about 900p or Quantum Break, 720p. Those games you could put up a picture of Quantum Break and Rise, and even Gears, which Gears you can match up with any of these games, in my opinion, especially on the X.
Yeah, most definitely.
It's just funny how the narratives have just completely went up, and just nothing ever goes in the it never goes for Xbox. It just switches around.
Yeah,
I mean, we literally every fucking time, and I'm sure you guys can agree. We were talking about 900p, or what resolution a game was, or what lower resolution was a game, or the cost of 900p, or all these things that all these things that would just go against Xbox, and they just don't happen for Sony. They don't have one exclusive AAA that they're hitting native 4K, and that's fine. But why wasn't it okay for Xbox this gen? That's I kind of find it hypocritical.
I can step out on my pony ways, and I can be honest about that. I've always said that the resolution argument was a straw man's argument, but it is what it is. You gotta realize that Sony, and smarter than them, they came out and lit the fire. 1080p makes you a better gamer, and again, it was Microsoft's fault that they sacrificed the specs of their console to include a peripheral.
Donnie D.
That's who made you leave. That's who made you leave, bro.
No, so that's duly known. Like I said again, but I've always said, something. Even when it comes to this, like I said, this generation, and maybe I'm gonna ask you, is it over for Microsoft? More or less,
yeah. Listen. Like this is real talk, right? And maybe not everybody agrees with me, but I think years ago, a lot of us said Microsoft gave up, quote unquote, on this generation and was prepping for next gen. And I know it doesn't seem like that because we just got a new console, but the reality of the situation is they're in a hole that they can never get out of. So what you do is you get that goodwill, and then you make sure that you launch at the same time as the PS5, so that it's it's a 0-0, and you have all the stuff going for you, the goodwill and everything. So I guess I might as well break some of these rumors right now. The rumor is that the next game in the Forza series isn't going to be Forza 7, and you probably won't even like this news, Zaire, but instead, Alan Hartman, who is the head of Turn 10 Studios, was at Studio Gobo signing a deal with them. They're working on a third Forza series because apparently the Forza Motorsport series is going to take an extended 1-year break. So the reason why would be, so next year's game would be a Forza by Gobo, which, by the way, rumor is it's called it's Forza. You're not going to like this at all. Forza kart racing.
This sounds awful.
Yeah. So that's the rumor, Project Gravity or whatever it is. So okay, so you got that. Why would they do that, right? Because they're going to launch the next Xbox in 2020 with Forza Motorsport 8, Gears of War 5, and some other games that we haven't heard of yet. It's a bold plan. And supposedly Sony's on track to release theirs 2020 as well. Believe it or not, Ghost of Tsushima is supposed to be a launch title for the PS5, and it's supposed to be a cross PS4, PS5 type deal.
Yeah, I was about to say that's probably cross, but
yeah.
I gotta ask you, now you just say kart racing. Is Microsoft going after the kiddie crowd crap?
I don't know.
I don't get this.
You know what? I don't know if it's
just a rumor at this point.
Yeah, that's a rumor, by the way.
Okay, but I'm just saying.
This is about Forza Horizon, because this is Horizon's year, and
yeah, we're gonna get Forza Horizon, but the problem was that Forza Motorsport 7 launched without a lot of its features. They're having a hard time competing and getting that game complete in time to launch it just every other year. So that's been a bit of a problem. So basically what we're going to see is, and this is something they mentioned years ago, that they could see, and people assumed it'd be a rally Forza game, which could still be a possibility, but there's definitely going to be some other type of Forza game that comes into play.
If they were smart with that, I mean, look, the go-kart thing, I mean, you got people that love Mario Kart, so
well, we don't know. I don't know if that's 100% sure.
Well, no, I'm not gonna. I'm just saying, there's people that love Mario Kart. I just wouldn't want Forza to go that route. To me, for the smart big.
I heard it might be avatars, by the way, as well.
Oh, come on, crap! Don't do that.
Well, I mean, if it's something like that, it's not going to be considered in line with the series.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I'm trying to get my point across, though, right? This generation, they're already gearing up for next generation, right? Like the Fable 4, that's not launching this generation. We might be able to play it on. Yeah, we're going to be able to play it on the X, but it's really meant to showcase the next generation. Like all this stuff is the games that they're signing these deals with aren't going to be ready in time for us to what we bought into. Like, and I know this is probably a us problem and us that we were sold a multi-plat box that plays multi-plats the best. And looks the best.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what we got. We got a multi-plat box. And why do we have that? Because the multi-plats were such a big deal for Sony for the first 3.5 years of that console. And Microsoft wanted to end that narrative. And it's so funny that IGN stopped updating the resolution differences as soon as the Scorpio was announced. All the articles stopped about the resolution.
Yeah, the hell started.
Yeah, it did.
It's so fucking crazy.
It is. So basically, I know, and it sucks. And we're still going to get games because I heard that we are going to get some type of spin-off Gears game. We don't know what it is yet, but that's real. And then here's the thing, right? The spin-off game is by Splash Damage, while the true Gears 5 is going to be a launch title for the next Xbox is 2020. So whatever this spin-off Gears game is, we're going to get it next year. And then also we're going to get Halo 6 next year. But I had also heard that we might get some kind of spin-off Halo game this year. or some type
I
of.
heard that too.
Gamertag.
The cell shaded shit.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think overall the future is what this E3 is going to be about, and we might get a real taste. But I think we were all joking around yesterday on Twitter, and people were like, "Oh, you really hate this guy," and you know, we were just all playing that. We were obviously
some of these rumors make it sound like it's right for Z to sign the Pony contract. What
Well,
the hell?
no,
but I think Z
sounds like bullshit.
But I think what Z is really trying to push here is that he's had enough with the you know, these cartoony games, and he wants mature titles.
Cell shaded Gears? Is that what you told me?
No, that would be
no. That isn't what I. This is it's a Gears spinoff.
Okay.
Wait, what's cell shaded?
The Gears, supposed to be, no, the Halo.
Oh God!
All right.
Well, remember when they had that game?
What?
It was Halo Roblox or whatever.
Oh,
yeah. I mean,
I heard it could be something like that, like something just silly.
Man.
That doesn't mean that it's true. This is all rumors.
Listen. But here's the thing, right? Look, they've got Game Pass, so this is their thinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
They launched that a little bit earlier, but it's really in prep for next gen. Right.
Okay.
That's the thing. So, but they still got to put content in there quite often. And so Gears and Halo are big name franchises. So even if they're spinoffs, that's going to cause people to want to try it. So I think that's the thinking. But I'm almost 100% sure that from what I've heard, Gears 5, a launch title for the next Xbox, Forza Motorsport 8, a launch title for the next Xbox. And then you're going to have some spinoffs. Halo 6 will come out next year, but you're going to have rumored that there's going to be some kind of Halo deal coming out this year. You also have stuff that Shadowrun is something that they've re-upped. The Perfect Dark thing is something that, with the Coalition having extra time for Gears, that they could be helping out with that. And there's also rumors of some new IPs floating around. So the problem is, what will Phil feel comfortable enough announcing? Will he feel comfortable enough announcing, Fable 4? Because I think that'll excite a lot of people. But is he comfortable enough of making that announcement? We don't know.
He better be. I mean,
another thing, Tim, is this, right? Their biggest.
Before you let me pay the bills. I got a good question here too.
Okay.
Rossetti, he said, "What do you guys think of a Mass Effect like Halo space exploration game? Third-person extract Halo has more than enough lore to pull it off."
That would be dope.
That's dope.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Yeah,
I've been saying that for a while. You could do a Forerunner story arc with that.
Yeah. Yeah, that will be dope. But I'm saying before you go to that I was about to see a key point, Crap. So we said this is 2018, right? 2018, we got 2019, 2020 new consoles are most likely going to be out. Oh, 2024 we're going to get new consoles, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna say this. So I hope they don't do a Gear spinoff because we've seen what happened with Judgment. Something, I mean, they kind of, and they had to build the hype back up a little bit for Gears. But Gears of War was the one they released, the remastered
Judgment.
Yeah,
they did the Ultimate Collection. This is supposed to be something.
Yeah. But Splash
really
Damage you can trust.
Okay, but here's my point, and that's my point. I'm saying so 2 more years. So now we've been moving past wait for E3 and then wait the next goddamn.
No, I'm not saying wait to anything.
I'm just saying more or less before we get.
It's not wait. You're still gonna have you're still gonna have stuff in between, but it's like the things that you're gonna play the most are still gonna look and play best on the X.
Okay.
I mean, I don't really have any. There's not really. I mean, if you feel a certain kind of way, then play the exclusives on the PS4 like the rest of us do, and then hop back on your X when you want to play your 2Ks or your Maddens or your PUBGs or whatever. You know what I mean? Your Fortnites, because it's all gonna play better on there. Like for me personally, that's how I look at it.
I understand. Hey, Crap, we was here, put them to good fight. I remember I was telling the story the other day, the good old days. We would call each other whatever the fuck on Skype means before.
Those direct info drops.
Yeah, before the MPDs come out, and we would come out and damage control it.
Yeah.
And try to spin it. And I'm gonna be honest with you, and maybe I need to coin this looking from what show said. Maybe I just got counsel fatigue. I'm just I want them to want it. And to maybe you can fill me in here. I heard about Terry Myerson. We gotta realize this. So I'm not Microsoft, Danny, $1 trillion company. And I've always said I understand.
I can lay it on the table what I've heard, and Tim might have heard some of this because Tim hears shit too. So Xbox was about done. Satya was not a believer in Xbox. Phil was the one that was like, this really all I can get Xbox to fall in line with services, with Azure, with this. We got Minecraft that's making money hand over fist. It's viable. We can do this, 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 and this. Got so much trust in there that now he's the right-hand guy sitting on the board with the man, right? If it wasn't for that, and let me point this out as well, Meyerson was like a big Windows guy, right? So he wanted everything to be Windows, Windows, Windows. That's why a lot of things are the way they are right now. Also, there was no budget to do anything. Why? Because they had to cancel things. Like he's kind of, from what I understand, had a big hand in the cancellation of Scalebound, Fable Legends, the closing of some of these studios and stuff like that, because Microsoft simply did not have the budget to keep those things afloat.
Well, they were also building the 2 consoles too. That played into it too. So you had a guy saying, "What the hell? We're putting all this money into these 2 consoles, and you still want money? You have to cut money. You have to cut costs." That definitely went on.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe I was right when I've also said that, you know, during the 6th generation, when the OG Xbox was getting stomped out by, you know, PS2, you know what I mean, 5-1, right? That I had more faith in the product then, because to me, it just felt like, it's me being the consumer, that they had more faith in the product. You know what I mean? I remember them coming on stage, jumping around, bombing with sweaty armpits. No, this is the boss here. You know what I mean? And this, I don't understand. Again, I don't understand how you go from, you had this hit, you were the shit, you were the iPod last generation, especially here in the States, to now you're just this former shell of yourself. And I don't understand.
Reason being, you had the 360, which did really well, but then you had people that were like yes men and suits that were trying to predict where the market was going to be instead of gamers, and so Sony really jumped on that and took advantage of that, right? If things had gone the way a lot of developers and pundits thought, which was Xbox was going to come in and dominate this generation, things might have been a lot different. Maybe Sony's not even around right now. In terms of being in the console market, but because Sony was smart enough to look at what Microsoft was doing and just they put together that plan in a few hours, man. Once Microsoft came out and bombed that E3, right? And then they really just jumped on them. And then look, Sony didn't have any games for the first 3.5 years. They didn't have anything, you know. But their fans relied on what, Z?
They had they had the third-party deals. You know, everyone. I will say the first couple years, both of them was kind of, you know, kind of sparse. Like even the games that we
but they were the ones that were begging really for stuff like Sunset Overdrive. They were threatening developers for that stuff.
But how about this then, right? And shout out to Mighty Moss. And something I didn't think about this, right? And this is all subjective. You can say that Naughty Dog is better than 343. And when I go back and think at it, you know what I mean? Maybe Microsoft has never had the better first-party studios, but what Microsoft had last generation, they had the better second-party deals. Remember, Gears was second-party. Mass Effect, BioShock, Oblivion. You know, I can go on and on. DOA. All these games were exclusive. You know, they had great second-party deals that were AAA games. They, you know, and again, even if you don't have and that's what happens is what Sony does is genius. So when their first party is, you know, it takes a while, a couple years to make a game. Here's Sony hitting you with the Neo Automatas, you know what I mean? The second party deals to fill that void and that gap, and they just totally went away from that. You know what I mean? So, you know, to be honest, like everything we gotten this year, or we're supposed to get this year, we've been hearing about it since 2015, 2016, right? More or less, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we all know that the shitty 2017 we had last year. But if they would came out with the check and did some of these second party deals, we wouldn't feel, you know what I mean? Like, you know,
they didn't. Well, again, they didn't have any budget to do those type of deals. You know, unfortunately,
what are they thinking, though? Like, this is $1 billion. The gaming industry is more than the movie industry.
But I realize that. But from what I understand, and I've only just come to recently hear this, like Xbox was hanging by a thread. You know, and now things are much better than they ever have been right now, because they're not looked at as like this leech. They're able to kind of hold their own and stuff like that. They're viable. They're part of their future planning with their game streaming and their whole, you know, game. They're betting big on Game
They're
Pass.
much more structured than they were.
Yeah. They're betting.
But what is their vision? Like,
okay, their vision is okay. Well, let me come in here and step.
Yeah, you got this.
Okay, all right, so this is their vision, right here. I just made a video about it. This was pretty impressive, and this was, of course, the cloud service, you know, where people were making this crazy thoughts that the Xbox is going to have Xbox games on PlayStation, like Halo and shit like that, which is not going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah, that didn't make no sense whatsoever. We broke that shit down and made it right. But anyway, I don't know if you've heard, DirectX 12. You've heard of that, but if you've heard of ray tracing.
Yeah,
that's a new. So
that's not new, but I used to use that part of my argument.
No,
back
the
but now it's coming to fruition.
Yeah, the DirectX 12 we've been talking about. Like that's that. Yeah, but I'm talking about the ray tracing is what they've is what's paving the way for the future. They showed it at GDC today, and so like if you look at that, you see what they're doing. This is going to change to where graphics, like they look amazing now. Like they're going to look lifelike. Like these graphics is going to look like actual people. You're not going to know the difference. And then so it's going to start off with the Windows and with AMD, because they're partnered with AMD with this. And then so NVIDIA has got their own version as well to compat it. And so then it's going to be implemented on the X and then on the new Xbox, because it was said, because in an article it said that there's already 3 companies that's already using this tech for future games to come off, and EA was one of them, which means that that Frostbite engine is going to get a piece of it. And of course, you know that the Havoc engine is going to implement. That's going to be working with Halo. And so when we're looking for these games to look more ultra realistic, the big AAA games that Xbox are going to produce is going to make them look better than we've ever seen them before. So that's the future, plus with the cloud as well.
I want to ask you a question, Mega, because I was looking into that last week. I was busy at that show, so I didn't get all the details on it. But from what I heard, it was with NVIDIA they were partnering with, and it was a PC thing.
Yeah, no,
it was AMD.
NVIDIA got this thing called the DXR. It's got DXR support, but it's called the RTX technology, and it's basically called rattleization. And what Microsoft has that's teamed up with AMD is called ray tracing. Because in this article, I put the article in the links in the description, but you can just go to it. It's in PC World, and then I watched the demos for both, and like they were saying.
What's funny is Remedy was actually working with this as well. And they made an announcement, and it's funny because their demo was very Quantum Break-ish. So,
right. That's what tripped me out. Like, you're absolutely right. Yeah,
well,
I put that on Twitter.
This is welcome news, because like I said on last week's podcast, I was saying Microsoft, they need to, be the behemoth that they are and come with some innovating technology to make games look different. And this is good news. I got to read up on it. Like I'm a little bit out the loop, but that's great news, because honestly, to tell you, a lot of the games this generation have kind of been rinse and repeat, just with a new coat of paint. So this is good to see the technology going in a new direction, because let's not forget DX, all these games, all these tools, they were built by Microsoft. The problem is these tools are so old. So it's good to see them updated. That's exciting for me. I got to read in that.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. And Post Up also said that it's already built into DX12 already, which it's already, that's what I was saying in my video, is that, look, we know that it's going to be on the X. I have no idea if that tech can be on the S, but we know that it's going to be on the X and on the future Xbox. So for the games that's going to be coming down the line, they're going to look 10 times better than what we've ever seen.
And you know, and this could be something big for next gen too, which it's not even really that far away. But the reason being is next gen is going to be everybody's going to be shooting for 4K 60 on probably most things. So where you're going to really differentiate yourself would be if you can have sort of like this sort of thing going on. I mean, the X is going to probably hold its own in a lot of ways as well. I feel like, they do a good job. Sometimes I do, even though developers say it's not, I still feel like some games are held back a little bit. But like, for the life of me, I'll never understand why, a game like State of Decay 2 doesn't give X owners an option for a 60 frames mode, but, kind of is what is. Like Greg Duncan yesterday explained why it's not 60 and on console for us on the X, and he just basically said it's not as easy as people on the internet want to make it out to be. People learn a few things about a PC and think they know everything about games, and it's not the truth. That it all comes down to engines and optimizations and things like that, and so it's difficult to to kind of to implement that in every single game or whatever. So it kind of is what it is. I'm impressed with the X in terms of what I've seen on it. I wish that we would have more exclusives or whatever that maybe at least one. But I'm not terribly unhappy. I wish we did have that one more realistic type IP. But who knows? Even if they were to announce that now, who knows when the hell we'd get it. So realistically, it's like enjoy the shit.
It's on games right now. Right now, I'm looking at this article right now, and they're saying the game the developer, well, not developers, but the engines that's running on that's using this technology right now for future games is of course Microsoft, Unreal Engine, Unity, Frostbite, 4A Games, EA, Remedy, and then there's something called Eurythmic, something like that. I don't know who the hell that is.
Yeah. I mean, that all sounds great, but are you telling me you have to wait until the next generation?
No, they said. I'm saying in this article they
exclusive wise,
these games are already being worked on right now.
Okay. But I'm not going to be able to play them until next generation, right?
Yeah, well, next generation is only 2 years away. Look, I've said that we was talking about this last night. Look, well, hold on. No, I'm just saying. Look, I'm just making this point. We talked about this last night. Now, is that it's like this E3, right? Is the one where they have to show further than what Killer Phil may want to show. He has to. They can't, if they don't have anything in line to get Xbox fans excited, then they have to show what they're working on in order for us to think that they are being committed to this. Because I mean, look, with all this new technology that they're working on, and then bringing the X, then they got another console coming, this division. They are committed, but they have to show what games they're going to bring to the box to make us feel like they're like it's justifiable.
All right, I got a question, and maybe you guys can, and this may make sense, right? But those, and again, us here, we all buy everything. We get all the consoles, get everything this gen, right? Now, not everyone's not like us, right? So we just say if someone just may have gotten their X last month or this month, and we're talking about, and trust me, I'm all about a new generation. I like fast cars, beautiful women, fat asses, right? And it starts in 2018, right? So 2 years, right? Because you got a lot of people, believe it or not, had their 360 for like 2 years into the, to this generation still, because it was getting software. And do you think those people may feel burnt? All right, that the X didn't really get the chance to live up to its potential, and if they're going to do this again, of releasing Gears or whatever comes out day one, and it's cross the gen or whatever, you can play it on the new X and the X or whatever the case.
Yeah, all these games are going to be backwards games. Yeah, they're going to be.
Do you think they have an incentive to go out and buy your goddamn new hardware?
Microsoft doesn't care if you go out and buy the new hardware, because by that time they're going to have people that are going to be able to play the new Gears via their streaming thing if they want to, and they'll be, at a disadvantage or whatever as well. So,
but we also have to realize, crap, you're probably going to say this too. Everything's forward compatible now. Like if you just upgrade, it's like having a new phone.
Yeah, listen. Here's the thing: the X will be in no means really outdated. To be honest with you, like. The optimizations will be even better. So like if you want to play the next Gears in 2020 on the X, you'll be good. It's still going to be 4K. The multiplayer is still going to be 60 frames. You know what I mean? Like you might get it less than native 4K and it might be checkerboard or whatever, but you're still going to get a great experience. And then because that's just they're just doing both these companies are going to do the phone system now, right? Yeah. Every few years you're just going to get a new piece of hardware. And they're going to try to keep up with the Joneses, and that's basically what we're with right now.
Because we have to realize game development costs are higher than ever, so you're going to need a bigger install base. You can't start from zero. And oh shit, we got a showstopper.
Whoa,
what up?
Damn.
What's up, everybody?
It's showstopper. Hey, showstopper, give us hoof clickers, showstopper. Say hoof clickers. Come on, hoof clickers, man. Come on.
Clicking.
But who's we're clicking on the podcast?
We all this light-skinned fella with the headsets on, with the police station in the background.
Listen. We're going to backtrack a little. I don't know if you was listening. Whatever. Shout out to what's up, Shell, my brother.
No, I ain't get to listen, man. I just got.
But listen. Now, Crap was saying right that but rumor. Like I've always said that the next generation is going to probably start around 2020, 2021, right?
Gotcha.
Now again, we like we said, we're all waiting for the games to come out, and it is what it is. Now, Crap, run that rumor by a show again about what they're doing and what's as far as you said about the next Forza and the next.
Okay,
Halo.
so basically, Forza 7 had while it was a good game, supposedly it was kind of it launched incomplete, and it's still kind of missing some things. So they wanted to give the next Forza time to breathe. Plus, they wanted to the Motorsport series anyway. They wanted to give them time to actually finish it and have their best version available to launch with the next Xbox, supposedly circa 2020, along with the true Gears 5, which would be 2020. They also plan on having some kind of Forza in between for next year, being developed sort of with Studio Gobo, because Alan Hartman signed a deal with them. Not sure what it is. The rumor is that it's could be a kart racer, could be rally racer. I don't know.
See, Doom Blue.
I mean, I don't really see how that's I mean, like, we don't know for sure. Like, don't get pissed off about a rumor because this is just stuff that you hear. You know what I mean?
Okay. So the next Forza,
and they'll have a Gears spinoff. Supposedly that they're gonna have a Gears and Halo in the same year next year. Both new. Halo 6 in the standard series, and then this Gears spinoff supposedly. Supposedly Perfect Dark fits here somewhere, and there's some new IPs. Not only that, but this is another big time rumor, which I don't understand why more people aren't talking about this, because they assume there's a terrible feud between Epic Games and Microsoft, which there's not really. Epic Games moved closer to Microsoft in Seattle. They also opened up, which is their new studio, is very close to Microsoft. Supposedly they're working with Microsoft on some kind of new IP. Also, Epic Games opened another studio in Los Angeles to work on something else. So they're ramping up for something big. Microsoft is out there cutting deals because they need content for Game Pass. So rumor has it that they're trying to get, these companies to crank out some games. So we don't know everything that's going on, but they are working on it. And that's why I think if you're upset right now, you'll continue to be upset. If you don't like Sea of Thieves, Crackdown, State of Decay, Forza Horizon this year, I think you're crazy because those are fucking hot games.
Right.
But there's nothing that they're going to announce today or tomorrow that's going to be ready to appease you in the next year or year and a half. I'm sorry, they're just not going to do it.
And that's a you problem, not a anybody else problem. If you're saying that Xbox doesn't have no games and you don't have any games on there, because I mean, look,
hey, man.
I'm just saying, bro. What up, bro? What up? What up?
It's dry season, bro.
Man, come on, show. Come on, show. Are you flipping up on me too? Come on, man, bro.
Oh my god.
Well, I'm just stating the facts, man. It's dry season, but I'm excited about like the Sea of Thieves, because Rare. We've been asking for different stuff from Rare, and Rare finally get to step out the box. So that's great. I mean, for that company to be able to do something that that's their identity. Mm-hmm. But other than that, man, come on, bro.
You're not excited? You're not excited for Crackdown? You're not excited for State of Decay?
Crackdown, I was excited for it. I might get excited for it when I start seeing more about it.
Right, yeah, that's one thing we do.
Yeah, it's a little weird how much they hide about it.
I don't think it's hiding. I think
marketing is kind of just off at times.
The marketing is off, but
you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I think they want to show
it's just the marketing is bad. Like, they should have been pumping that, been showing us all kind of content as long as that been out and long as that been announced. We should be seeing a lot more about that game than what we have.
Yeah, like I think they're waiting to reintroduce it. I've also heard, and I'm not the only one to say this, that we're going to get a beta at E3, and then it's going to release. I believe somebody said in June or July or something.
Okay.
We were supposed to get a beta way back.
Are we going to see more about it though? I mean.
Well, I mean, look, they have that new Inside Xbox show, and I've heard. Yeah, I've heard that the multiplayer, and I'm not this isn't just my stuff. You can ask people like Rand or whoever, Tim, he's probably heard the same shit. That like the multiplayer is fire. The bad part is it's only 5v5 Wrecking Ball for that multiplayer, which I was hoping there would have been a little bit more people in that. But I mean that's still pretty cool.
So you can blow up the whole city. That's still
like that. That works supposedly. Like it works. So they're gonna launch it and they're gonna talk about it. So, but I think they're giving Sea of Thieves its time in the sun. After that launches, I would expect them to ramp up State of Decay 2 stuff, and then at some point they're gonna start ramping up Crackdown 3, and then of course we're gonna get the Forza Horizon 4, which if you guys are fans of that, man. This is Playground Games' last contracted year for that, so hopefully Microsoft works out something.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I wish they would have shown that Crackdown 3 multiplayer reveal, or maybe they'll show that State of Decay 2 Legendary Edition or whatever, the one that comes with all the zombie shit, instead of having a guy play his instrument for 10 minutes.
The inside.
Yeah,
Hargan-
that wasn't that. Yeah, that
But-
wasn't a great thing. But they advertised. They did get some Sea of Thieves stuff out there. First show.
Yeah,
I'll watch
why did
it
they show
again
the
if it
Kraken
stinks.
though? They
I
got
don't
the
know.
Kraken.
They want people to. Craig Duncan said he wants people to experience that firsthand.
Man, it's better than
Like-
watching an instrument.
Okay. Again, I'm not. Yeah, go. You want to say something?
I was gonna say, aside from Inside Xbox, IGN has been getting decent coverage on State of Decay 2. I'm really excited for that game. I think that game's gonna be
State of Decay, I'm interested in. I've always said this. State of Decay, I'm interested in.
State of Decay and the next Forza Horizon. Truth be told, those are the only Xbox games I'm really excited for.
Yeah.
Like, I'm playing Sea of Thieves right now, so I can't get excited for it because I'm playing it now. But and it's a great game. And to be honest with you, it looks, I can't even tell the difference between the PC version and the Xbox One X version. They both look the same, minus the 60 frames per second. So they did a good job, using the Xbox hardware for that.
Oh, just got my Black Dog pack for Sea of Thieves. It's almost
but apart from that, let's be honest. Like, there's not a lot of stuff to.
I need to see that Crackdown multiplayer. Like, to me, it's just suspicious. Like, why haven't they shown it yet?
Well, like I said, they're giving Sea of Thieves time to breathe, and then we'll get it after.
What about like
after
E3? Like, we got a
Well, we'll
weird
get it at-
presentation of it.
Well, I mean, we haven't really had the multiplayer presentation at E3, right? That was Gamescom. Yeah, we had Gamescom last E3. We had the single player that they showed off, which is co-op.
I don't know why they didn't show both. That would have been perfect.
Because and Tim will attest to this. They were going to launch this game with just single player, and then launch the multiplayer later. And then they changed their minds.
That would have been a failure.
That would have doomed that game, man. Because
it would have flopped hard.
Okay. Well, I mean, okay. Well, so 2019 rumor has it a cell shaded Halo.
Oh no, I haven't heard cell shaded. I just said that there's a spinoff.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, we don't know. I just speculated on
everything's
that.
rumor. Okay, a cell shaded Halo.
There you go.
A kart racing Forza.
That sounds awful.
Wait, it could be a rally Forza. I'm not 100% sure.
You can't go off on this. This is
I'm
rumor.
not. I'm already at the edge. I got the crack pipe in my mouth. They're gonna kill me, Scotty. I'm about to take this hit right quick.
I'm just bet on that.
I mean, there's only a couple of games that can work that's like that. I mean, like Borderlands, that works, but you know what I'm saying, for Halo to be cell shaded,
That'll be awful.
I'm kind of looking at that.
I have never heard anything about a cell shaded Halo, by the way.
Well, I did hear it. I hear one of you guys saying it, and I was kind of like, "What?"
I think Tim was joking.
The most disappointing thing, if that's true, would be the
what about
the part? If that, because that I just don't see that now. If they're trying to do something for like,
well, listen, there are Avatar games being worked on, by the way.
Right, I was just saying the new avatars, and they're trying to promote those, and then they just want to put the Forza name on it. Okay, I see that, but
like you guys are thinking about it wrong. They're not these Avatar games aren't going to take the place of AAA games. These are just things that like
one versus can't win. Like they do something small like that, like
Full House Poker, 1 vs 100, kart racings. Like these are things that they're gonna, like they did with the 360. They didn't take anything's place. They have an option to do those type of things, and it's because Microsoft is trying to reach out to a very broad audience. They're very ambitious right now, which nobody can fault. And we'll have to see.
I think the difference is like in the 360 you had those big games, and you also have the extra. Right now, people feel those big games aren't enough, and you're just pushing out the.
We don't really have. Like I said, that's
why they have to show them. If they don't have any available for this year, they have to show them. They got to pull the PlayStation on that one. That's what we was agreeing on last night.
Yeah, we agree.
They have to. Now, look, I'm anticipating. I think that for me, Crackdown 3 is probably going to be the best game out of all the ones.
So?
No, I do. I think that
they're straight up.
State of Decay looks dope. I mean, that really wasn't on my radar until I really watched it, and I was like, "Damn, this looks great."
It reminds me of a little Left 4 Dead, but
Left 4 Dead a little bit. Yeah, but no, Crackdown 3 is the one that's going to shock. I think is going to shock everybody because of the fact that you may not be sailing the seas and you may not be killing zombies, but you do like to pick up a gun and start shooting motherfuckers. So if you do that and you can blow up cities and do all that with that multiplayer, it's a wrap. That game is going to generate a lot of attention.
I think it has.
A lot of
I think it has the potential, but
Mhm.
you know what? To be honest with you, they haven't showed me any evidence to support that.
And
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
what I'm
hurt me.
saying.
They
Well,
need
that's what hurt me.
they need to sell us on the game, and honestly, it's been slim to none. You know.
I think the reason that's a part of the reason why
That's
it's in
true.
Game Pass too. You know, that's why they're putting a lot of the games in Game Pass
Well-
because a lot of people will be willing to try out the games, and then who knows, they might get a sale or they might get hooked or whatever. You know, so I think that's some of the planning in there as well. You know, because let's face it, Crackdown 3's had a tumultuous kind of development process, but obviously CloudGen has quality tech because Epic Games bought them.
Okay.
So
Okay. All right. Okay. Let me ask you a question. We also had it's already going on 9 o'clock. Like, and before we get the hell out of here, let me ask you a question. Now, during the week, an interview came out from Phil Spencer. Oh, I think it was Phil. Where Microsoft looking to grow their gaming outside of the Xbox platform or ecosystem.
It's over.
Yeah. What do you like? What do you? I mean, remember, I don't know if you. I'm gonna check your. Remember me and Rory did it. It was like, was it 2014 and 2015? We
might
did
have been.
Yeah, we did talking about that, but we was more or less talking about PlayStation. Well, we came up with PS Now, and I said don't be surprised, and it'll be a win for Sony if you start to see PS Now on other servers or TVs or whatever. And it looks like Microsoft is going that route. You're going to have Xbox Game Pass, maybe straight on your 4K TV. Just plug an Xbox controller into it and move from there. Like, what are your thoughts about that? Like, really, as as a console gamer, how do you feel?
I think they're heading down that road. And to be honest with you, I don't think it's gonna affect the console per se. People are still gonna want a physical console in their house where they can play their Blu-rays and surf the web and being the media hub of their living room. I think there's still a place for the console, but yeah, they are going to be using the cloud heavily. Now, somebody on Twitter was telling me that they tried out the NVIDIA cloud gaming, and they told me there was no perceivable lag. They told me that they were quite shocked that there was no lag.
He also had a gig. Whoever the guy was, I was in that conversation. He had a gig up and down too. So
damn.
But I have that same setting, and there's a lot of people that do have that setting. So it's gonna appeal to people like that. But then there's gonna be other people out there that don't have the internet connection, so they're still gonna get a console. And of course, there's gonna be people the sky is falling, and they're just not gonna wanna invest in that type of technology.
The thing that I take from it is they're trying to latch on to something to be successful because Sony's doing such a good job. Sony's already done this stuff years ago, right?
Yes.
And to little success, to be honest with you.
They didn't do it well.
Yeah, particularly in the US, people aren't really. I mean, it's okay. Like we can kick back and watch a movie.
They were charging greedy. It was horrible.
They were. I mean,
a lot of latency. It was really bad. Like it was.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've tried it out. It's not my personal thing, but like, I just look at mobile gaming and this kind of stuff as something that people do. Like I see people go, man, I can't wait till they have Xbox controller support on this phone so I can play. Like, are people going to take their controller with them and hook them to like their Elite, this heavy ass thing, and then hook their phones up to it and then play? Like, I don't really see that happening. Like, if you have time to game with the controller, you're going to be doing it at home. So I look at this thing as at best a way that it's going to draw some casuals in it or whatever and produce revenue stream for more games. At worst, it's an option that we won't use like PS Now. Like, I don't use that shit.
It's
an option.
I can tell you this. It's gonna be in Samsung TVs for sure. It's gonna be in Samsung because Microsoft and Samsung, they like to partner a lot. Like even in Samsung, there's a app you can download the Steam link right now and stream your PC right to your TV. So I think the Samsung TVs are gonna have it, and it's gonna be a selling tool. So people will get the TV just so they can put their controller in. But I don't think the console's gonna go anywhere.
Yeah, Sony had that too, man. You could play all that shit. You could play the PS3 stuff on the
Sony
Vita, on the mobile.
That's the difference. Sony's sucks. There's a lot of latency. Like you can tell the latency. Like what Microsoft is working on, from what I heard behind the scenes, and there's been little tidbits that they've released. Like it's pretty low latency, and you don't even need a huge bandwidth to do it.
Well,
go ahead, Sean. I thought Sean.
Go, Sean.
I was sitting here saying, like, with the route that they going with everywhere, you can carry your controller, but what if they put where your controller connect Bluetooth wise instead of hooking it up with a cord or a cable?
Which they can do.
I mean, you never know. I mean, they could do that, but like Phil and Mike and all these people are already saying the most important customer is the ones that they're hardcore, and that it's just an added option. As long as it's just an option, I'm cool. I don't really.
that's not their core, bro. I mean, they don't. I mean, I'm gonna tell you, they care about everybody.
Yeah,
and they use everybody as their core. Even though you got the faithfuls as us, you know what I'm saying, that's gonna buy and support everything, but everybody is their core to them. So it's literally trying to appease everybody.
Yeah.
And
the good news is
your moms and the children not really wanting to invest a whole lot like how the hardcore does. And it's easier for them to buy this Game Pass and buy a controller to have their kids play that, you know what I'm saying, and play a monthly service.
This is just one thing that I wanted to
yearly service.
Hey, Mega, you looking
got to pay the bills
on that route.
What'd you say?
You can see your screen, Mega?
Yeah, I can see my screen.
Pay the bills and then say what you're gonna say.
What does this dude say? Let me go. His name is Burger Boy 26.
Shout out to the 500 people watching, 550 watching this live.
Appreciate it. Do you guys think that Microsoft has what? From this failed generation? I don't know if you're trying to say leaders. What? It's LEAR.
Yeah, the leaders.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. I mean, go ahead, guys. Answer that question.
Okay. Here's my thing, and I don't know. I've always said that to me, they've been Microsoft this generation.
Maybe that's learned.
I don't know. Learned from this failed generation.
Probably learned.
That they are, to me, like a battered wife. They're afraid of their own shadow, and turn the slogan "Be the behemoth you are." But to add on what we were just saying, right quick, I wanted to lose my train of thought about where they're going with this whole cloud and play your games anywhere, and again, that's like a broke. I want them to focus. Get this down pat first, this console thing, before you wrench off and start trying to be the master of everything. Master this shit here first. You know what I mean? And I'll say this again.
Yeah, but they've been working on that for a long time, though. So
they ain't got this shit right yet.
No, they've been working on the streaming thing since 2013. I mean,
I understand. I know. I mean, I know. But
this is just something that they're going to come out with, and it's going to be.
They're trying to make a buck any way they can off of gaming, is basically, and keep a revenue stream. And you know what? Like, it's not going to go to PlayStation, and not because the reason people would think. It wouldn't go to PlayStation, not because Microsoft wouldn't want it, but because Sony wouldn't want it.
Right.
Right. I mean, that's the bottom line. Like I said, if they compare it to the Netflix of this or that, Netflix is on like everything. Hundreds of devices. Yeah. It's like, so if you really want to spread out and reset, you're going to have to be on a lot of devices. The problem, I just don't like consuming a movie. Like, I've watched a movie or part of a show on a phone, like waiting for a doctor or whatever. Right. I don't think that I'm the type of person that's going to like boot up a cloud and, go into the clouds to game while I'm, like, that's not me. I'm not a mobile gamer, but maybe there is some kind of, I don't know. Cause I can remember Showstopper years ago when they announced PlayStation Now going, yeah, I could see myself playing those games on my Vita or whatever. And now we see like nobody did that because they stopped doing it.
Well, the service was bad.
So,
yeah,
it is.
Yeah,
To
be crap though for you as one person that doesn't like that, there's two other guys out there that do like it. I know people that were ecstatic that the new Xbox One controller was Bluetooth so they could pair it with their Android phone and play games on it. They have little stands that you can buy where it connects to your Xbox controller and the phone sits there and people play games like that. It's not for me, but people do it.
I mean, listen, I'm sure there are people that do that, but I'm just saying, I think that that's not the majority. Certainly not the majority from people that I know.
Okay.
And then we also see like that brings up the whole problem with like this crossplay stuff with like, did you see the
There's
Fortnite
no problem
footage on?
That's just you just not liking where the future is going, because PlayStation is
no. I'm saying no. Did you see the Fortnite crossplay on the phone? With the
yeah, but did you hear Mooch on Twitter say that he played it? He played it on there and it played.
He didn't play against other consoles though. He only played it against other. He only played it against other people on the mobile.
Somebody's paying the bills. $199. He says damage control is legendary tonight. All right.
I guess it would be damage control, man. When was the last PlayStation 4 exclusive AAA, huh? Shit, Knack? Is that even a AAA?
Grant's
GT Sport.
That motherfucker hasn't played anything since Horizon.
Did they ever get their range shit? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let me make this
Nobody's even playing that game anymore. They already started work on the next GT game.
That's a damn shame. Anyway, okay, so Sony is there was something that was pretty crazy that I found out, that Sony's profit. Let me ask you these guys this first. What do you think is Sony's most profitable game?
Gran Turismo. Probably.
Okay.
Right
I mean,
now or
No,
this
no,
generation?
no. I'm talking about.
I'd have to say
I'm not. It's their game.
Uncharted. I'd have to say between Uncharted and Horizon because they both
No.
sold phenomenal.
No,
No,
it's not.
so it's really hard.
We talking about gaming? I mean, are you talking about overall?
No. I'm just saying overall, their most profitable game.
I don't know, on a console.
It's their property. It's their property.
If you talk, I don't know anything they get on PC, but if it's on their console, I would say that I know.
They own this. They own this.
I don't know about the PC landscape. Like,
well,
Inside or something like that.
No, it's a Fate Grand Order, and it's a cell phone game. I don't think anybody knew this, and they're in a lot of trouble because there's people that because of the whole gambling thing or whatever. Because there was some guy, it was in Rolling Stone magazine and on Wall Street Journal that this guy spent $70,000 on this mobile game. And
why is Sony in trouble?
Well, there's people that's going. There's because of the loot crates and all of this, they're going after EA. They're going. So there's people that's getting upset. They want to go after them. But the point I was trying to make on this is that this is where I think a lot of people are missing the point. Is that in a consensus last year in 2017, there was over 108 billion devices that use some form of gaming. And of course, in 2017, there was 2.2 billion gamers across the world, and that's including everybody that plays on cell phones, consoles, whatever. That's where Microsoft is trying to go. It's not trying to touch in the console space because, like Crap said, Sony is not going to allow anybody to mess with those Azure servers. PlayStation fans would go crazy and say, "Look, we want the same type of service for what we pay for PSN." What Microsoft wants to do is touch on.
Damn, you're getting so many L's.
I don't care. I'm just speaking the facts, man.
No, you're right.
Yeah, I'm just being honest about it.
But okay, but I understand what you're saying.
People
But how
want
does
tablets.
as a console gamer, and again, I can really care less. I'm being honest with all the tech and stuff that they didn't bought because I'm a console gamer, and cool. Maybe I may be the old guardian at the gate. That none of that shit applies to me. Maybe even crap either. Even where they're trying to go, and I can care about. And I think Microsoft is guilty of this. That they're too good at business at trying to make $1, and I don't know. But I'm gonna say this again. I would rather them just focus more. And I know they're big.
That's why they have different divisions. Yeah. That's why they're starting different divisions because of this point. Because they are going to have a division because it's going to be so big. If they want to touch on the mobile market, they want to touch on gamers that just play on primarily on cell phones and on tablets, or PCs. Yeah, and Phil's going to be.
Plus, it'll probably be a way of you owning your game too and taking
right. Yeah, and it's going to be part of that play anywhere. So, which means that there'll be. So it's like we've been saying that it's not going to. That's why they changed the standard of talking about sales numbers and going to user base. That's why even Sony is going with this route now because that's what's going to generate more money is by the per user. After a single player game, if it doesn't have any DLC, it's gone. It's dead. It's not going to be played again. But very rarely. But multiplayer games or games that get extra content. If the user base is solid, they'll still keep paying for extra DLC and things for that nature. That's all I'm saying. So, people don't understand that. Sorry for you.
Like last generation. Oh, damn. We know. Pay the bills.
Oh, pay the bills. Let's see. Okay. You talking about exclusives. Look how many Nintendo released in one year with the Switch and Xbox One within 4 years, and Nintendo still got big hitters in 2018. Facts. Okay.
How many of them are remasters?
Okay.
Yeah, well, how's that third-party support? Can I play Red Dead Redemption on Switch? Let me know.
Yeah, but anyways, what happened last generation? How many consoles you had out there? Like 400,000? Like how many?
Last generation for who?
Yeah, we count all of them together.
It was about 170 million between the PS3 and 360. But let's say they both did about 90 million apiece, about $1.80.
I say a little bit over 200 million because you're not thinking
Wii
or the Wii U.
I'm talking about the 360 and the.
I just say add every console up, but yeah, even if we let's say 300 million, that's nothing compared to the 2 billion people out there. K-Mega isn't necessarily wrong.
Pay the bills again. Microsoft will struggle if they lose their hardcore.
I can agree with him, Burger Boy. Because I understand the casual outnumber us 5-1, but it's hardcore that go out there and set the tone. For things. And again, I'm just a little. And I guess wait to E3.
I'm not understanding why.
You know what? Believe it or not,
giving away from it. I mean, look, if they're still going to keep making consoles, how is that going to affect another gamer? That they're over here trying to reach out to people that's playing on cell phones.
People have to always make it one or the other. People don't understand that it's just an addition and it's not really geared for us. And Microsoft's been working on it for 5 years. And unlike Sony, they'll probably have a much better product. I mean, Sony can't even get you can't even change your name. So when you talk about networking and you talk about cloud and you talk about all this stuff, Sony is a trash dumpster when it comes to compared to.
They just want to get the bigger consumers out there,
and they want to charge. They want to price gouge you, but nobody wants to talk about that because I mean, you had guys like Jabari defending pricing on PS Now, like 4 years ago. You talk about a guy that's completely blinded, but Microsoft's probably going to give you this stuff. It's going to take your games where you want to play them. You could plug in the Samsung controller support for your new Samsung QLED, and you could play some of your Xbox Play Anywhere games off the cloud if you want. It's just going to be an option. It's nothing more. This is
and that's great. I just hope they make the software to push it.
As a company, though, you can't blame Microsoft for going this route as a company because they're in it to make money. There's so many millions of people that own, I say billions of people that own a cell phone. Everybody owns a cell phone. And believe it or not, these cell phone games sell like crazy. People buy the little shits for them. Like Candy Crush is killing it.
You can't sell enough consoles to compare.
Here's why I think they pushing this real hard. What was Microsoft number one money maker since the Xbox came out?
Minecraft.
No.
Halo.
No.
You talking this gen or
Xbox Live?
Okay.
So if you look at what they doing, they know Xbox Live. They had about 80? How many million users they had? About 30, 40 million,
40, whatever. Yeah,
somewhere around there. Now, if they can get them same 40 to buy this Game Pass. And
listen, I'm
filling it with the money.
Listen, I'm not negating any of that right there. But my thing is, when I'm saying about it, I want to finish with this. Shout out to my man Burger Boy again. He dropped another $2. He said the game's got to be good. My thing is that all that's well and good, but we can't stand too many goddamn years like 2017. That's it. I mean, if you're gonna go off in this bench and do that, fine. But don't, again, how you said, you're gonna have the multiplayer. I understand that, but don't fucking neglect your core. That's all.
Well, that was a problem. Like I told, like Crap brought up, it was a real tumultuous time with Microsoft. And I remember last year. I mean, I was talking to some of the guys within Microsoft, and I was, I wasn't being nice. Put it that way. I was being like, if you guys don't deliver this, deliver gaming, it's not going to be pretty. And I think that they got that. I think that with the changes, they get that now. Now it's just a matter of
waiting till E3.
What worries me, Tim Dog, about that is like, how do they not know people aren't going to react well? Like, why would we have to tell them that?
Well, because listen, Xbox is put under a different spectrum than any other consoles. Nintendo, everyone loves Nintendo, but they don't have third-party support. They have a lot of things wrong with their system. They don't have.
Yeah, but that's a nostalgia company.
Okay, whatever. So Sony, it was all about indies and resolution for the first 3 years. Nobody even put heat on Sony for not having external hard drive.
They said being sparse is good. They
said sparse was good. Let's remember, all that stuff was true, and they're Sony. They're faithful. They are dead set. They will defend any kind of dog shit.
Oh yeah, I know. So, I remember bringing up crossplay on Twitter. I nearly was crucified for that shit.
Yeah. Right. When it was sparse, I'm telling you, man, ponies when they console was sparse, they was trying to pass off indies as games.
Oh,
I know they were.
They was all in my comments like, "What? Indie is not a game."
Hey, listen. Hey, let me hop back in bot mode. Let me have Xbox One. He said, "Oh, but define AAA. What's a AAA game?"
Right.
You know what I mean? But
So I mean, but the fact is that they
Oh, that was L's, man. That was the major L these ponies took, boy, when they was pass off some dang on indies. That's AAA.
I mean, you just look at how the narratives go. Okay, Xbox One X comes out. No more resolution doesn't care. Now it's on Variety. Remember, we were on Variety and Japanese support. Then after that, then the Xbox gets some Japanese support. Then it goes on to, now it's a realistic game. Narrative game changes, and it's always something to attack Microsoft to put them down. Fact is, 2017 was a pretty shitty year for Xbox.
It was awful.
And it was one that wasn't to be remembered.
It was the worst ever.
Yeah, but the accentuated by the fact that the Xbox fanboys and the fans, they're realistic about their console. They're not out there saying,
"No, we're not zombies. We're not mindless drones about our shit." We criticize.
We got blow. I mean, I had guys comparing Titanfall to Flower, Flower and stuff like that. And they did it with a straight face. So with Xbox, it just comes with a different. It comes with a different.
And that's because of the reveal. Like, they've always been the punching bag, and the media doesn't want that to go away. It's like it's easy clicks.
Okay, well, I guess we can close the show with this, right? In closing, first, shout out with fun if you're watching this live. I just want to say this, all jokes aside, right?
Hit that like button.
Hit the like button, right?
Hit that like button.
The realest shit I ever wrote right here.
For Z, and hit that legendary L for K Mega. Hit that shit. I want to see it. I love it.
At the end of the day,
I got a few because they was mad about the indie thing.
They were.
I mean, but at the end of the day, right?
Now we're pushing them.
And I'm gonna say this again, and we can close the show with this: is that Phil? Now, I guess you say the shit rolls downhill, and he say the fish rots from the head back, right? Now he's the boss of all this stuff right now, right? You know what I mean? And I'm just thinking going forward into the future. You know what I mean? They need to go back to doing things that fans, like even myself, I'm going to go out and get me the God of War fucking Pro, right? We like things like that. We need to get back to our themed consoles, you know what I mean? And the little, the third party deals, you know what I mean? And just think about it, how huge it have been for the X if they didn't have one of those big shooters this holiday season, you know what I mean? Even though it's sold pretty well, but it's even more over the top, you know what I mean? They got to go back to that. I understand this.
They got to go back to the Xbox image, the shooter box image. That's who they are. Don't be ashamed of that.
Yeah, cool. I mean, and again, like I said, all this other stuff you're trying to do and get money there, and that's what they do. And I understand Microsoft is a genius at business, but I also feel by them so much being a genius at business that they neglect, their core. Because even though they're trying to put they hand in everybody's pocket and doing all these type of deals, you still have Nintendo and Sony was not really doing all that, or they can't afford to do that, and they're selling extremely well, making a shitload of money. You know what I mean?
Well, what's really funny is that, and I agree with you a little bit, like focus a little bit, master something first. Mm-hmm. Like when I say I don't see this like streaming thing taking off or being successful, and people go, and I bring up that because this thing isn't new, like that type of thing's been around for a while, right? Mm-hmm. And people go, well, nobody's ever put Microsoft's kind of clout and money behind it, and then I point to the Xbox and I go, they put their clout and money behind that, and here it is, bring up the rear. Right? Like focus on your shit. I get you. I agree with that much of it, right? It would be nice if they would have, but maybe they've got some big plans for this. Will be like when we start next generation, that'll be Phil's first like start of a generation, like right from the start, his idea. Like I feel like the X is his idea for how powerful a console should be, and they got the power narrative. And I think that the games, I think this year exclusive wise is pretty damn good. I'm not disappointed with the exclusive. I want to see what's coming the following year. That's what I want to see.
Right. They gotta show it. They gotta show this year, even if they want to roll it back next year and kind of keep it tight to the vest. Okay. But this
they should lie to fans the way Sony does, right?
Right.
Just be like, show us some CGI shit, say it's in engine, and don't put a release date on there. Have everybody.
Xbox fans ain't gonna dig that though. Xbox fans ain't gonna dig that.
We like the real. We ain't into that fake shit.
Yeah. Into that fake shit.
We hold our brand to a higher standard. We're not mindless drones over here.
So right, yeah, but they have to. But even if they don't show the CD, they have to announce that something like just show the title. You know what I'm saying? Just show the title and that you're working it. Yeah, just show it. Yeah, show a nipple. Show a damn titty.
Hey, look how people got excited for a squid in Smash Brothers, right? Dude about to like pass out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Squid.
You know what? I'm hearing that you can put somebody in jail on Sea of Thieves. I think that's pretty funny.
Dude, well, dude, you could do that in the beta. This is the bad part, right? I was playing with randoms, and before we could even get on the boat, I was in jail.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Like,
they want to see what that Megaton was about. It was trying to figure out them goddamn videos. Like,
the only way to get out is if you have the majority of your crew vote for you to get out.
Yeah.
So and if you're holding a treasure when you go in there, there's no way to get the treasure out. It's like ridiculous.
Well, I'm just warning people right now. Looks like the server is actually it hasn't even.
It hasn't even released in the US, and the server's full.
Yeah, the servers are full right now. So
it
just gives you an idea of what's going on with this game.
Right, and
it looks like they actually did well with it.
Yeah, and well, this is what's crazy because you're already starting to see people make different narratives because they're trying to find one to stick with. Well, they're going to look for one, the sales, and now you hear them talk about, well, what's the Metacritic going to be? What do you think it's going to be?
Yeah,
look, that shit don't really matter if you got user bases out here that's just watching. You got people. The user base is strong for this game because that's what matters is that people are playing this game. Fuck what a Metacritic score is.
You know what's the most important thing is it fun? And it's a lot of fun. It's like there's like some mindless fun in there. Like it's a lot of fun.
Look out for my live stream tomorrow on Sea of Z's. You're gonna see me out there tomorrow selling the oceans, man. But anything else we want to say before we get the hell up out of here?
You play that damn Hellblade. You know what I'm saying? That's the only look at the old God of War. Much love to the old God of War. You know what I'm saying? My favorite, the old God of War is my favorite shit. You know what I'm saying? Is one of my favorite franchises of all time. Hellblade is a fantastic game. That Fortnite, get out of here. Wipeout XL, fire.
You were not impressed with that footage of God of War that they released?
Oh, no. I said the game looked great. I said the game looked fantastic.
Crazy.
But
ain't no but.
Man, I'm not feeling it like that. I was gonna say when it comes around towards the if you know what I'm saying, if you know, if I could kamooch it, if somebody want to hook me up with the game, I'll take it. But you don't talk about PlayStation fans. I know that ain't gonna happen.
Rise of War.
Yeah.
Hey, I saw those pictures, Tim. I was cracking up yesterday.
I'll wait till the bargain bin when it goes to Black Friday, and I'll probably pick it up. I ain't buying that shit now.
You could probably GameFly it, be done in 8 hours, and then you're done. Because that's all it is.
When they say it's gonna be 35, you know,
one and done.
They're gonna be done with that shit in a week, and then
one and done.
Then they're gonna be on to the next one.
I'm not with them here. I want that fucking game, but that's all I'm gonna say on it.
Yeah, but no, I support anybody. Look, so go get the game. It looks good. I'm not mad. Can I have my opinion? That's all I'm saying. Look, I'm not mad for anybody loving the game and anticipating it. That's great. Go buy it. Go support it. But for me, it's just not. You know, fan what the devs told me about that game. I'm not interested. Move on.
All right, well, with that being said, thank you all for rocking out.
Hey, we had over 550 watching. Woo! Yeah.
You guys are
the pony transformation.
And then you guys take up for me on Twitter and I was being insulted, accosted. Fuck all you guys.
Hey.
My pony brethren. I'm gonna be on the PS4 Pro playing this Uncharted.
Did you guys address the pony contract signing?
Oh yeah, they know. I signed a 5-year exclusive deal.
Yoshida signed it to him personally. He's like Ninu Koni too. You gotta advertise. You're gonna be advertising all that stuff, man.
Hey, crap.
Pay the bills.
Crap.
Yeah.
Yoshida was like, yes, no, Zaire.
Hey, remember that was Showstopper that said that, not me.
Oh man. Hey, and unlike other YouTubers out there that was saying that they was getting them DMs from Yoshida, Z actually got Yoshida's DM. So that's what's up, baby. Good job, Z. You can actually talk to him, man.
Hey, listen, don't tell everybody that. I don't want no trouble. I want no smoke. But shout out to you for the $5 in the chat. He said Megaton never been done. Huge announcement. Sony and Nintendo. I guess he said Microsoft doesn't have a chance. Can't take crap serious.
No, he said Sony and Nintendo doesn't have a chance. That, you know what I'm saying? That's all right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
we already know what Sony and Nintendo have for E3. The Microsoft, the only question mark.
Okay. Well, we're gonna see.
I'll be at E3. It's gonna be on.
Will next gen have to wait to E3 or wait the next generation? You heard it here first.
Hope I can remember at least one of those.
You don't gotta wait
Yeah.
to next generation to play all the multi-plats, best brother. You can just play them all on your X.
Well, listen. According to my contract, I have to buy all my multi-plats on the Pro. And
They really shit on you, bro. You're gonna be playing them with the worst controller, the worst graphics, with the worst frame rate.
They bought them for me, bro. I got to take my talents across the street, man.
Yeah,
Thank
I guess
you
so,
guys.
man. If people wanted to buy me shit, I'd play inferior products.
I want you to
Come on.
stream Persona 5, man. I want you to stream Persona 5, man. That should have been in the contract.
I like
pay me
being
enough to play multi-plats on the shit station.
Rotato. Oh man.
Rotato.
We out here. Catch you guys during the week, man. I'll be back tomorrow talking some more shit though. We out here. Bang.
No.